Welcome to a brand new edition of Local Focus. I'm your host, Sebastian Noel. It is hoops season here on ProView Networks. Make sure to log on to our website, proviewnetworks.com. Check out our broadcast schedule on both Game Vision and the NFHS network. Basketball season is here. Football officially behind us. I can tell you, having done a game last night, I'm going to make the prediction right here. Hopefully this doesn't, go up in bulletin board material or it doesn't come back to bite me. The boys at Volcano Vista are not losing a game this season. Had a chance to do their season opener last night at Albuquerque High. Albuquerque High is going to be a good team. I think they have a good chance at winning their district, and Volcano Vista just kind of played with them, just toyed with them, doubled them up in the score, actually, running clock in the third. 12 different Volcano Vista Hawks scored 14 threes. Their leading scorer, the defending Gatorade Player of the Year, Kenny Nguino, didn't even have to get to 20 points last night. Coach Garcia, who did the game with me, we kind of just looked at each other and said, this is not a fair fight. That's so exciting to have hoops with us. Girls season has been off to a great start. We've done some great girls games already here. I have already had a chance to see Sandia, Hobbs, La Cueva, and Albuquerque High, so that's exciting. I'm very excited to bring in a West Mesa Mustang guest here. There's a big West Mesa house here at ProView Networks, so I want to give a shout-out to Coach Otero, who, gave me the text and the call, and that's kind of how, if you have someone out there that you think should be spotlighted, I'm all for it, right? And but it's not just basketball. Wait till you hear this story. So happy to have Monique Sena of West Mesa. I guess we'll get to hoops, but there's a lot to get to, right?
Yes, sir.
So I didn't know the story, but, there's basketball. Let's talk basketball first, right? You guys obviously just starting out, so talk a little bit about that. What do you guys got going over there at West Mesa?
So we have a strong team. We played last night. We played Rio Rancho. Unfortunately, we lost, but we did play our hardest, and the outcome wasn't what we wanted,
Right.
But of course, we...
Talk about just... So for those that don't know, basketball, soccer, baseball.
Yes.
Not softball, baseball.
Yes.
Right, so we'll get to that for
Okay.
sure.
Of course.
But, how difficult is that, sport to sport to sport? You probably don't have much off time.
I really don't. I go right from one season to the next, and it's ongoing, but I've been doing it all 4 years, so it's kind of normal at this point. When I have free time, actually, I don't know what to do with it.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And then I would imagine the preparation for those sports is very different too, right?
It is,
Let's
yes.
talk about that.
So for soccer starters,
Is it true, first of all, is it true soccer players are in the best shape out of all the sports? Is that true?
it is true.
Okay, so
Yes.
soccer definitely gets you ready for everything
in
else?
shape. Oh, yes.
Okay, so let's start there.
So we condition, we do all we can. For soccer season, I actually started working out at Athlete Ready.
Okay.
And that really got me stronger and ready for soccer season. And then for basketball, soccer got me conditioned for basketball, so I wasn't really out of shape exactly. And then basketball gets me in shape for baseball, so it's perfect.
Right. So that's funny that you mentioned that because, the beginning of basketball season, those first couple of weeks can be a drag, right?
Yes.
And coaches
Oh,
talk
yes.
about it all the time, players getting into basketball shape, and it takes a while. But for you, you're probably like, oh, this is cake.
It was easy. Coach Otero had us running kind of a lot, and most of the girls were a little gassed, but it was a little bit easier for me. Some of the soccer players actually started playing basketball too, and we're kind of the most in shape, so that was nice as well.
How I guess free plug for Athlete Ready here, right?
Yes.
Shout out Jared Saavedra and company there. Jordan Bird's there helping them out too, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So big Jordan Bird guy here. How did they help you get kind of ready for each sport and get acclimated for each different season?
So I started before soccer season, so they targeted all of my workouts towards soccer. And so with all those workouts, I only went maybe for 2 months maybe, and it got me really stronger for soccer season.
What's the difference there? What are they doing different when they get you ready for soccer, and then when they get ready for hoops, and then when they get you ready for baseball? What are they doing? What different workouts are you doing? What different parts of the body are they targeting? Talk about that.
I only went for soccer season, so I didn't really get to see what they had for basketball season, but they targeted parts of the body that I was working in, legs, of course, and getting me stronger there for kicking and for soccer. Yeah.
You know, talk about a little bit, maybe players that are just, you know, they're not sure about the whole facility thing, right? Like they just want to do their thing at school.
Yes.
How much does it help you, I guess, give your pitch for why that is such a good idea for athletes to look up a guy like Jared and his guys there at Athlete Ready?
It helps you. They know what they're doing. They understand the parts of the body, and they know sports as well, which really helps. And they target all the parts of the body that you need for that specific sport, and it really gets you ready more than you could do for like yourself.
And I'm sure facility-wise, right? I mean, there's so much. I'm sure West Mesa has great facilities, right? But then this is pretty sports-specific too. So talk about that.
It is. They have a lot of machines and everything they need. They have sleds, they have benches, they have ropes, they have absolutely everything, and they warm you up, they get you ready, and the workouts are just, they're amazing.
Do you ever race Jordan Bird? Not yet?
No.
Try it and see. He's still pretty fast. What about, do your teammates kind of look at you for, I don't know, I guess, do they ask you questions? Do they ask you for workout routines? Do they ask you, because, I mean, they got to see that you're just gliding from sport to sport to sport. So talk about that. I mean, do they kind of hit you up for advice, info?
Sometimes they do. Not that much, because I don't think they really knew I went to Athlete Ready, but we just kind of all work out together, and so whatever our coaches have us doing, that's kind of what we do.
Right. Let's talk about Coach Otero a little bit.
Okay.
You know, first of all, can he still play? Because when I talk to him, he's always, you know, I'm sure you've heard every story that I've heard about Albuquerque High this, Albuquerque High that. You know, I shot all these threes. I did this. And he's always, you know, we get into all these arguments, you know, because he wants to talk about him and all his old guy friends. And I just want to talk about the people that are playing now. So have you heard all those stories too?
I have, yes.
All right. Do you believe most of them?
I do, actually. I really do,
all right.
yes.
So, but does he like think he can still play, or is?
I still think he can. He could shoot.
I know he can
really
shoot.
can shoot still to this day.
I know he can shoot, but can he play?
I haven't seen him really play, but
Like it's,
just
so
shoot.
he's officially retired. He's not getting on the floor anymore during practice, right?
Not during practice, no.
Okay.
No.
But I've heard he like shows off shooting. Like
Oh, yeah.
He'll shoot from like up by the bleachers and everywhere, right?
Oh, yes.
So he still does that.
Oh, he still does that, yes.
Who beats him when it comes to shooting on the team? Can anyone go toe to toe with him?
I don't think so. No,
Not yet,
no. He still has his shot.
Okay, all right. Obviously, that's a program that has seen some success in the past, right?
Yes.
So what do you guys need to do to kind of get back to that level?
We have a younger team, and so of course our coaching staff is great, and they work us hard, and we are very aggressive. Just keep doing that, keep working hard, and I think our program will be fine.
Let me ask you this from a competitor standpoint. When we go into a season and you have a team, or I guess you could say two teams that are so strong at the top, right? Well, obviously Sandia and Hobbs.
Yes.
Does that kind of, you guys think about that at all, or are you just kind of going about your work, doing your thing?
It's always a thought, but we just focus on our seasons, who we're playing, getting better, and I mean, we don't really think about it too much.
So zoning in on your district, though, you know, before we talk about those two teams, that's a district, you know, well, tell us your thoughts about that district there.
Our district, it changed from last year.
Right.
Of course, we had Sandia, La Cueva, El Dorado. We had, but this season, we have some aggressive teams in our district. Again, I think we could really compete if we keep working hard.
Right.
But they are tough teams, and
Yeah. But that's a district where, you know, you don't have that powerhouse like Sandia in it. So that's got to be, like, I'm sure you guys are thinking like, hey, you know, this district's up for grabs, right?
It is, yes. But we just got to work hard for it.
Right. All right. I want to talk a little bit about some other sports when we get back.
Okay.
I want to talk about baseball, of course, for sure.
Yes.
Soccer, pretty amazing story there, too. We'll be back more with Monique after this timeout.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Back with West Mesa's Monique Sena. All right, we're talking a lot of hoops. Soccer is another sport you played. When Coach Otero told me about this statistic, led the nation in saves last year
Yes.
as a goalkeeper. That's pretty impressive. I mean, I'm sure you're busy back there too, right?
Yes, of
I did
course.
I did a little bit of digging, right? And so you were busy back there. Well, first of all, have you always played goalie there?
I have always played goalie,
Okay.
yes.
So how does someone, did that just happen? Like, when did you start playing soccer?
I started playing soccer when I was 4 years old, and then I stopped playing actually until middle school, and that's when I became a goalie.
Okay.
And then from middle school, I just played the rest of the years.
Because usually, our director, state champion, not a goalie, but state champion at El Dorado in soccer. But it's just, because that doesn't I can remember when I played soccer as a kid, they're like, hey, you're goalie because you're the chubby kid, right? So that's how that happens. Like, you just don't hear about, all right, you're goalie. But right away from the beginning, you were the goalie, right?
Yes. Well, in middle school, nobody really volunteered.
Right.
Coach was just
No one
like,
volunteers.
who wants to be goalie? No one volunteered. I was like, I'll do it.
Okay.
And so I didn't mind that. And then I had fun from there. And so.
And again, that's something that's a very different skill set, right? Like, so even throughout soccer, when everyone else is doing their thing, I mean, obviously goalkeepers do their own thing, right?
Yes.
So talk about that. What goes into that as far as prep and all that?
It's a lot of work. It hurts your body a lot. You're diving constantly, but the prep, it's kind of mental for being a goalie, because you feel like everything is like on you, and so that's the hard part about it. But physically, it takes a toll on you too. But for practices and stuff, I do my own thing and
Right.
prep differently from everybody else.
And how do goalies? I mean, talk a little bit more about that? How do goalies get better? Like, are you guys set up a jugs machine in front of you? Is it all live kicks from teammates? I mean, take me through your kind of process during the season.
So warming up, just slow rollers and just warming up basically, but then getting to actually have live kicking from the teammates, and that really helped because it's an actual simulation of what's
Right.
going to happen in the game, so that was good as well.
What about? I've always wondered. I'm German, so naturally you have to be a soccer fan if you're from Germany, right?
Yes.
So, penalty kicks, right? Like, how do you get ready for those as a keeper? Is it? I know at the professional level, right? They're watching film. The crazy guy from England has the wristband with everything written down, right? And does that translate down to high school? Like, do you know if someone's going to take a PK against you? Do you kind of know their tendencies? Do you study that, or are you just like whatever, random?
Me personally, it's random. I just
Okay.
pick a side, and hopefully I just go to that side, and if they kick the other way, it's a really hard job to do. Especially the kickers, they kick really hard, so it's hard to determine where it's going to go.
Well, okay, you're a senior, so now you can tell me your
Yes.
secrets. We don't have to worry about you coming back
Yeah.
next year. Like, do you have like, is it pretty random, or are you lean towards one side when you pick a side? What was your?
I prefer my right side.
Okay.
I feel like I dive better on that side, so I just hope they kick to my right side.
And does that happen? I mean, it would seem like that's the more, because that's a right-footed going to the left. That would seem like that's where most PKs go, right?
Yes.
Like you have to be a little more skilled to put those upper V on the right side or on the opposite side of your foot. Versus, so that's probably a more
Yes.
popular side, right?
It is, yes. And sometimes I can't get to them, like they're more to the side or things like that. But I always go to my right.
All right. Who's the toughest penalty kick taker in the state, if you had to say?
That's a good question. It'll have to be like one of the top teams. We played El Dorado.
Yeah.
That one got
All
me.
right. How? So did you always play a whole bunch of sports right away? Where did they all start?
I started with soccer when I was 4, and then I played that for a little bit. I started basketball and baseball when I was 5, and then just from there, I loved them all, and so I just kept going.
You have a favorite?
Basketball. Basketball is
Okay.
my favorite.
All right. If you had to say which one you were the best at,
I would say basketball as well.
okay, all right. I mean, leading the nation in saves. I mean, that's pretty good. It's kind of hard to top that. Yeah, you had 28 of your team's 42 points on opening night, right?
Yes.
So that's a pretty big thing. All right, you said baseball, right?
Yes.
Not softball.
Not softball.
Never
Baseball.
softball.
Never.
At any point.
At
Not even
any
when you were
point.
little. Straight baseball.
Straight baseball.
Why?
I just been playing. I started off. I had amazing coaches. They never had anything like against me, and it was nice. And then just high school came. I played Little League,
Right.
and when high school came, I was a little bit nervous that they weren't going to be as accepting as my Little League coaches, but they were.
Right.
And I was like, they gave me a chance, and
Yeah, I want to definitely dive into that in the next segment. But did they ever try to lure you over back to softball, or always kind of everyone's like, "Oh, this is cool"?
the baseball coaches, they wanted to keep me, but of course the softball coach, he always tried to get me to switch over as well.
And when did you start playing Little League baseball? Also very young?
That I started when I was 5.
Okay.
Little leagues
All right.
all the way through middle school.
All right, we do this thing on the program called the Top 5 list. I don't know if you've heard about it. But it's top 5 things we do not know about you. Right?
Okay.
I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Got it.
Number 5.
Number 5, I have a 4.3 GPA.
That's impressive.
Yes.
And by the way, Coach Otero shorted you. Because he texted me 4.2.
4.2.
So you can get on it when you get back.
Okay.
I mean, that is, first of all, that's impressive. Anytime you have a 4.3, that's impressive.
Yes.
But then when you do it while playing 3 sports, that's even more impressive. Like, I mean, man, when do you wake up? When do you go to sleep? When do you have time to have a 4.3 GPA?
Right.
Tell me about that.
It's nice now senior year because I only have 2 main classes, so I get to sleep in a little bit extra. So that was nice because I finished all my math classes last year. So I have a little bit more time this year, so it's nice I actually have time to study and get all my work
Right.
done.
See, like I had double late arrival, and then I was a teacher's aide before lunch. But it wasn't because I was a 4.3 student. It just worked out that way, right? It was glorious. But you really do have no free time. I mean, average day, you're waking up at what time?
Average day I wake up at 8:30.
Okay. So I mean, like, it's probably straight school, homework, practice, game, right?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. That's really impressive. All right, number 4.
Number 4, I like to bake.
All right. What are we talking? It's holiday season.
It's holiday season.
So what are you talking about? Like, what kind of baking are we talking about?
My go-to is brownies, of course.
Okay. Well, everyone knows
Yeah,
how to make that. That doesn't
No, yeah.
count. Like, is there anything that's like that would impress me? Like, or is it just like because brownies? Everyone make what are those cookies? Everybody makes those cookies, those peanut butter cookies, right, with the fork. And that
No, yeah.
Is there anything like cool, out of the ordinary, or just you're getting started on the basics?
Getting started on the basics.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Just
what like we're not talking no crazy cakes, nothing like that.
I'm trying to learn some recipes
All right,
and stuff,
okay.
but not yet.
So your go-to right now is still brownies.
Yes, of course.
All right. Okay. All right. That's a good one. All right. Number 3.
Number 3, I love animals.
Okay.
Love animals.
Where did that come from?
Since I was little, I've always been attracted to dogs and smaller animals.
Okay, that's great that you bring that up because are cats real pets?
I think so.
Really?
Yes, I think so.
But you're dogs all the way.
I'm a dog
Okay.
person, but yes.
Well, because like dogs will like love you.
Mm-hmm.
They're excited when you come home. They're sad when you pull out of the
Yeah.
driveway. And then cats just don't give a damn if you exist. Right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I've never understood people that have cats as pets.
I think cats are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about exotic animals? Any of those? Like you into any of that?
I am.
Okay.
I think I just love animals in
Okay.
general.
Do you dogs? Do you have dogs at home?
I do. I have one.
Okay. And anything else? Just a dog?
Just
Okay, all
just
right.
a dog. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Where are we at? Number 2?
Number 2, I can't swim.
Okay.
Yeah. Out of anything, I can't swim.
How does the person that plays soccer, basketball, you're starting tennis, I hear now, right?
Oh yeah, I want to
Talk
play at
about
least
that a little
tennis.
bit.
Yes.
Just never learned, or
Never learned to swim. Just out of everything.
I think every human really learns knows how to swim. I think. Have you ever just tried to
know.
jump in and see what happens?
No, I'm scared.
Okay.
I don't want to like.
I think that's the best way.
I know.
So, because we were talking about dogs earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got a new dog, and I have a pool at my house. So I said, well, I'm gone a lot, so I need to know if
Mm-hmm. Right.
he's going to survive. So I mean, this probably makes me a horrible pet owner. If you're watching, please, I don't have a dog anymore. Don't call the authorities. But you know, when I got this dog, I was like, I have to know. So I just launched it right in the middle to see what would happen. Right, and sure enough, just right to the smart. Dogs are smart.
They are.
All the way to the stairs, straight up the stairs, out the pool.
That's nice.
So what I'm saying is, you probably know how to swim.
I know.
There's only one way.
I know.
You gotta just. Don't they have a pool at West Mesa?
Yeah, they do.
You just face your fears. You know, I mean, yeah. Just tomorrow, ask coach, "Okay, can I leave practice early? I gotta face my fear." All right, number 1 thing we don't know about you.
Number 1 thing, I'm religious. Me and my family, religious.
Okay. Talk about your faith. Why is it important to you? Why is it important to your life? How does it translate over to athletics?
Before every game, I say a prayer. It helps me calm my nerves. It always has. Me and my family, they're always praying over me, and we're all very religious.
Does it help you stay grounded with all the athletics you're in?
It does too. Yes.
Okay. Tennis. You decided, all right, I'm just gonna pick up another sport.
Yes.
Did Coach Otero talk you into this? Isn't
Yes.
he the tennis coach?
He's the tennis coach.
Okay.
Yes.
So how did he talk you into this?
He just said I would get another letter if I played
Okay.
some tennis, and I was like, I think I could make a little bit of time for that. So
So how's that going?
I haven't started. I'll start in the
Okay.
spring.
All right. All right. What are you excited?
I actually am.
Okay.
Yes.
What are you worried about there? Like, what do you think's the hard? I think serving would be the hardest part.
I've never played tennis ever, and so maybe with a little practice I could be somewhat decent. But
Well, we'll see what Coach Otero can
yes,
pull out, right?
Yes,
He's got to
right.
coach you up, right? Despite all these athletics, you want to be a veterinarian, right?
I do. Yes.
Talk about that. I mean, that's really cool, right? Why a vet?
I've wanted to be a vet since I was little, since as long as I can remember. That's the only occupation I've ever actually thought of, and always loved animals, like I've said, and I want to help them out as much as I
Right.
can.
So, I mean, that's probably what you want to go to school for, then, right?
Yes.
Now, athletics could be a gateway for that, obviously, right? If the scholarship came, have you
Yes.
kind of thought about where you want to go to school for veterinary studies?
I want to go to Colorado State.
Okay.
I hear that they have one of the best vet programs, and I would want to attend there.
Okay. And like, are we talking like, because that's such a cool field, right? General practicing vet, or like at a zoo, or like, you know, because then there's like exotic animals. Like, what would you think would be the dream job in that field for you?
I want to do domesticated animals, so probably just a regular, yes, just help them as much as I can.
All right. I'm imagining your family has to be incredibly athletic for you to play all these sports.
Yes.
Talk about that.
My dad played basketball in high school. He went to Albuquerque High. My mom cheered, she played softball, and she played soccer as well. And she went to Rio Grande in high school as well.
Well, I mean, first of all, we're already running out of time here, but I'm so glad you came in. What an amazing story. Soccer, led the nation in saves. Basketball, baseball, not softball. Tennis, that's just amazing.
Thank you.
That's really cool. Probably pretty inspirational for younger people that watch the show, or just like, that's a lot. You must really have stuff together to be able to accomplish all that. So thank you so much for coming in. Good luck
Thank
the
you
rest
for
of the
having me.
basketball season.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for watching, and good night.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state